Hello, everyone. I am Rakita Starks, one of the agency principals here at Financial Freedom Insurance. I'm so glad to be here with you guys, training on leading the growth way. Now, why leading the growth way? Why leading the growth way? That is the question. And that was something that I had to answer a while ago. And I'm and I've gotten to the point where I know that effective growth of companies, effective growth of families, effective growth of, of the economy is based in strong leadership. A lot of things that we can see around us are based in weak leadership, and we are driving for making the numbers, making the stats, that we're not getting to the foundation and the core of where things start, and that is here in who we are as individuals and as leaders. Now, before my life in insurance, I was what I say I was married into insurance. Before me and my husband got married, he was in insurance, and then he went back into corporate. And then after we had our first child, he went back into insurance full time. Both of us jumping in the water full time. Before that, I was an assistant property manager, and then I was a stay at home mom. So I'm coming from stay at home mom. I can manage my kids barely. but I had to learn me first. I had to learn what my style of leadership is, and I had to learn myself. And a lot of times we're learning a product, we're learning a company, and we're learning all the things of how to navigate and grow and build a business, but we don't learn the most important factor, ourselves. So I'm going to jump into this. I don't want to make this a long, drawn out training, but I do want it to be effective. I want it to be effective. And what we're going to start with is, what is leadership? What is leadership? Leadership is, it's the ability. It's the ability. It's a learned skill. Now, all skills are learnable. So that's where you have hope. All of us have hope, because if you're wondering, why is it hard for me to keep a team? Why is it hard for me to get people to drive as hard as me? Or why is it hard for me to get people to see value in what we're doing and all these things? But it's an ability to influence and motivate other people to achieve a common goal. That's all it is. So if you can get people on board to drive towards a common goal, you're already on the right track. When you took on the 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 job or the position of entrepreneurship, you took on the role of leading people. That's leading your customers and leading your team. Okay. So now this is a concept that it's it has many different factors, but I'm going to touch on the most important factors that an effective leader has. Okay, we have vision, communication, problem solving, decision making. The big four, the big four: communication, problem solving, decision making, and vision. How many of us can honestly say that we're strong in all four areas? How many of us have a mission statement? How we can go into our office and we can have our team recite out, what vision are we after? What is the goal we're trying to accomplish? And they can read it out to you, and they know it by heart, and they're living and breathing it. Everything they're doing is driving that mission. How many of us can honestly say we have it? If you don't, then that's okay, because I'm going to show you how to develop one in this training. So hold on tight. Another thing is decision making. Some of us can avoid, in our natural personalities, and it's okay. We have the four main personality styles. We have dominance, influence, steady, compliance. We have people who are risk takers, they're drivers, results oriented. We have people who are people. They are communicators, natural born communicators, like to socialize. Then you have people who are steady. They are just like, they're people. are big on relationships, but they're also big on keeping peace. Then we have people who are compliant. They write the rules. They love rules because rules are fun and rules keep everyone happy and on track. So, and it creates lanes. But when you learn that maybe I'm not as strong in being a decision maker, maybe I do kind of step out of that role and try to let somebody else take the lead on that. Okay, okay, if that's how you are, then we're going to help you to develop that skill. All skills are learnable. You just have to take time to identify which ones you need to develop in, which ones are your weakness, and then drive forward to developing. It's like a muscle. Some people sometimes some people can't do a pull up. I know myself, I can't do a pull up right now. At one point I could, but right now I can't. Okay. But some people can't do a pull up. But over time, as you develop that muscle, you might start with a half, and then you go back the next day, I can do one. The next day, I can do 1.5. And it's constantly developing the muscle. All of us are not strong in every area, and some of us are weak in others. And I don't want to specifically highlight weaknesses, but they're blind spots or areas of development is really what I like to call them. Areas that we can develop in that will make us stronger leaders and stronger influencers in our circle. All of us are called to have dominion over something. So whatever your dominion is, you need to lead in excellence, not perfection, excellence. Okay? Then the next thing, problem solving. How do we problem solve? We have a 5-step system that we implemented at our agency. And I'm going to walk you guys through that as well. How do you problem solve? In school, we were taught to ask for the question. Ask for the answer. We go to the back of the book, look in the glossary. Okay, this is how, even in the back of some of our high school books, had some of the answers back there. So we go back there and we look for the answer. But we didn't develop the skill of problem solving. How do you problem solve? How do you line up my options? How do I evaluate or evaluate the situation and make an educated decision on how I'm going to solve it? And then if it's not solved, how can I go back and reevaluate the options that I lined out and then reapproach it? So how do we do that? Okay, we're going to talk about that and I'm going to give you that. And the next thing is communication. Communication. How do you communicate with your team? How can you communicate with one person who is a high driver and you can say, man, I bet you can't do this, or man, you showing up, you weak, what are you doing, why are you acting like? You can talk to that person, you can talk to that person that kind of way. But you go to someone else with a different personality and you approach them with why are you doing this, why are you doing it this way, come on, let's get it going. Or you say, if you hit this number you get a bonus. Some people aren't driven by that. Some people aren't driven by the bonus. Some people aren't driven by uh, um, aggression. That's why some leaders, you have to know your leadership style and who you are more attracted to lead. Who would you like to lead? What kind of people would you like on your team? Because everyone couldn't be on a team with Jordan. Everyone couldn't handle that kind of leadership. But then some people could be on the team with this is, I know this is totally different timelines here, but say Steph Curry, from what I see, he's more on the softer side. Okay, he's more on the people side. But those are two different leadership styles. Okay, you need to know who you are to be able to know how can I drive these people in a way that moves them forward. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I know that was a little bit of a long introduction, but I wanted to set this up. Okay. Now, like I said, we don't emphasize and we don't focus on strong leadership. But if we do focus on leadership, It's going to increase the productivity on your team. It's going to improve the decision making. It's going to improve the decision making not only in yourself but of your team, because leaders need to develop other leaders. And if you're a leader developing followers, then followers can fall off anytime. Look on social media. You can have a million one day, and then you go down. If you say the wrong thing, you down to 500,000. So, okay, how can I lead in a way my team know me and they know that I'm making the best decision for my team? Okay. All right. So let me get into my points here. I have them all lined up. Now, communication. I'm gonna start there. Communication. Like I said, you have dominant, influence, steady, and compliant personalities. Dominant personalities, they take things head on. They are not afraid to address conflict. They are the ones who very confident in their self, very confident in their skills and talents, and they have a high ego strength. So it doesn't offend them when you come to them with a problem. It offends them if you come to them with a problem and we not address the solution, or you not deliver on a promise, or um um you're the same way all the time. Like, they like constant change. They're always driving towards the next thing, which is why it's only about 3% of these people in the world. Only 3% of people in the world are dominant personalities, which is crazy. Direct and dominant, which are your natural born CEOs, executives, natural born entrepreneurs, all those things. They're task oriented. So sometimes the D personality could be leading someone, and that other person can be like, well, they just don't like me. They're always being mean to me and all this kind of stuff. The D is just not happy with the results you're getting. It's not even about you, it's about your results. Okay. So if you show me that we are about to accomplish this goal, I'm I'm all for it. But if you're not helping me do this, just give me the ball and get out the way. That's their personality. Now we tap into the I style. Only 11% of the people in the world are the I style, influencing and impulsive. These are the people who are emotionally driven, people oriented. They are more persuasive and motivational. You'll find them in as motivational speakers, or in a position where these are your naturally bubbly people in the office. You'll know them when they walk in. They walk in, they could they don't have to have a cup of coffee. Them waking up is the coffee. They walk into the office. Hey, how's everyone doing? Glad to see you. Hey, how you doing? Did you go to that trip that you I'm glad. How did that trip go? They are into people and will talk to the people. You need them in your team. Encouraging, optimistic. They're gonna see the good in almost anything. It's gonna be hard to keep them down because they're the happy. They are the ones who want to see people win. Okay. S style. This style explains a lot when you hear the stats of how many people are S style in the world. 69% of people in the world are S style leaders, stable and supportive. These are the ones who they'll stay at a company for 20, 30 years or retire at a company. Like, they are loyal and trustworthy. They are the team players. They can sometimes be possessive at the same time, but they're great listeners. You'll usually find them in a HR position, or a lot of times in an executive position. But Mostly they love being HR. And you'll most likely find a couch or comfortable chairs in their office because people come in and talk to them, and they are the peacemakers in the company. Participative and inclusive. They're the type of leaders who are going to do the job, get in the job, do it with you, and then hand it off. They don't mind getting down in the dirt. Okay, let me get down in the, I'm going down in the weeds with you. I'm getting in the weeds. We're going to figure this out and we're going to take care of it. They are inclusive. They want everyone to feel a part or needed on the team. Okay. Then you have the C style leader. 17% of people in the world are C style leaders, compliant and conscientious. You need these people in your compliance department because, or reading over contracts, because they're going to make sure every I is dotted and every T is crossed. They're perfectionists. They could be sensitive, accurate, and analytical. If you have someone who has millions of questions, or they are always trying to find the facts, it's facts over feelings. I don't care about how you feel. What are the facts? They're mostly your lawyers. You'll find them in as a lawyer. Like every case is a everything you bring to them, it's prove it. Prove it. Show me the numbers. Show me the facts. Show me the testimonials and all this kind of stuff. They're the kind that you have to print out the details and let them read over it and let them make a decision. It's going to be a slow decision process because they have to analyze it all, make sure it's the best decision. So if you run it, you would know this style by them being the type of person who, you'll know them by their emails. You'll know them by their emails. Their emails will have at least 10 points in them, and they want you to hit every point so that they can make an informed decision or get you what you need. So um, you can really identify them that way. There's other ways you can identify them, but that's one of the ways. Okay. So let me break this down too, and why this is important. Once you understand yourself and you understand people, you know how to address them. You can address a D, hard driving. You can you tell an I, hey, um, if we help the team, if this would help the team grow, if you fulfill this part, and we can all win, they on board. S, you can motivate them by, hey, thank you for your position in the company. Or yes, thank you for your position in the company. Hey, um, I'm gonna go ahead and you earned this bonus of having the day off to go and spend with your family. Thank you for your service. We appreciate all that you do because they just want to know they're appreciated. You can motivate them in that way. See, they respond positively to facts and clear expectations. If you give them clear details of what they're responsible for, they're going to get it done. No hesitation. Oh, this is what I got to do. A, B, C, D. All right. And they knocking it off the list. They have no problem with that. They're motivated by like list driven, clear expectations. They are, you don't know if they're happy or sad. Like it's just straight. They could be in the best mood. That's a great thing that you found out there. There's just like no emotion on that. Okay. So when you learn the different personality styles, you can use it to your advantage. In sales, man, you will see people in a totally different way. You can hear people, if you do telesales, you can hear in their words of the type of personality they are and what would move them to purchase. And that's a totally different training that we'll have to go over. But today we're talking about leadership. Now, that was on communication, decision making. We have a 5-step process in our decision making process. And let me walk you through it. Step 1, identify the problem. Identify the problem. What is the problem? The specific. Don't say overall, um, we need to recruit or we need to make more sales. No. What is the specific problem that you're having? Once you identify the specific problem, this system is not working, or um, my files are not going through, my applications aren't going through, whatever it is. Identify the specific problem. Step 2, identify 5 to 10 solutions that you can use to solve this problem. 5 to 10 solutions. It's going to take time to think. What are 5 to 10 ways I can solve this problem? All right. Now that you've identified the 5 to 10 problems, 5 to 10 ways you can solve this problem, step 3, reduce that list down to 3. The top 3 ways you can solve this problem. Once you have the top 3 ways, step 4 is solve the problem using one of the top 3 ways. The 5th step is review the result. Once you review the result that you've gotten from that problem that you had using the solution that you saw fit to solve that problem, evaluate, do you like the result you've gotten? If you don't like the result you've gotten, go back to the other 2 and pick out one and go back to solving the problem. Now, once you run out of options, out of the top 3 options, once you run out of those, then you go and ask for help. Because the goal is to teach and train up leaders. But if you weren't training and teaching leaders, you're going to have people who could continuously run to you for the answers, or run to call someone else for the answer. Like, no, I have to teach you how to be self-sufficient. As part of my role as a leader. Let me give you this other thing we do. It's the I do. Okay. I have the experience. I have the experience. I've done the job. I've done the work. I understand it. The next part is I do, and you're with me. Okay. So now you have done the work and this person is with you. They watch you do the job and now they see how it's done. The next part is you do, and I'm with you. Okay. So now you give this person control of, well, you don't give them full control. You have managing control because you're now watching them do the job that you've already done. They've watched you do it. Now they are modeling the behavior that you've taken. Now they're doing the work. Now that they've seen you do it, you've seen them do it. Now they do it. So it's I do it, you watch. You do it, I watch. Now it's you do it. Now you're off on your own. You've been trained to do it. You got it. The next thing is you do and you show someone else. And that's how you create a cycle. Now it's you do and you bring someone else with you. Okay. All right. That was just a sidebar, but I wanted to give y'all that. All right. All right. So the next thing, let me get into back to my notes. All right. Here we go. Final thing that I'm going to tell y'all about. Vision. One of the foundational points is vision. If your people don't know what the target is, if they don't know where we're going, they are aimlessly walking in the dark. And you're wondering, why do we have such high turnover? Why is it so hard to keep these agents fired up? What is going on? If your dream is not communicated, and if your dream is not big enough for their dream to fit in, they're going to go and fulfill their dream somewhere else. And everyone has something good in them. I always say, instead of seeing what is wrong with everything, look for the good in everything. Okay? Now, how do you create a vision? I'm going to walk you through how to create a mission. Okay? This is how you create a mission statement. And I like to write it out. So I wish I could see my stuff. But first, you need to have 3 economic objectives. 3 economic objectives. 3 things that are driving the company forward. Your business exists to create a profit. Okay? Or say, even you could have a mission statement in your family. You can have one in your business, and you can have one in your marriage. I would say have one for all 3. This is how you develop it for your business. 3 economic objectives. So what does that look like? I'm sorry. What does that look like? Our goal is to have 500 prospects. Excuse me. Sorry, not prospects. 500 clients, 1,000 policies written, and $1 million in annual premium written. That's where we're going to stop. So the goal is, you know what? I'm going to take that back. We need to have 100 agents, 100 agents, 1,000 policies written, and $1 million in premium written. Those are the 3 economic objectives. And everything needs to have a deadline, which is part 2. You need to have a deadline, because if you don't have a target, if you don't have an end to this, then it's gonna be like the mission statements that so many companies have that you go over in the onboarding and it's tucked away in the drawer somewhere. And then you read it the first day or first week, or some people don't even read their mission statement to new people, new employees, or new agents, or wherever it is. And like, okay, just get in here and make the sales. But what's expected of me? What are we driving towards? We need to have 5,000 agents by 5,000 agents, 100 million in premium, um, 10,000 policies written by January of 2024, or whatever year. We need to have this many written by January 2024. Give it a date. And once that date gets there, you reevaluate and you adjust the plan. But you have to start with a plan. By January 2024, now you talk about why. Why is it important to have 5,000 agents, 10 million in premium, 100 million in premium, and what was my 10,000 policies? Why is it important? Because we believe in entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship being an opportunity for people to create the life they want to live, and no family should suffer for the sake of a loved one passing away. Boom. There's your mission statement. And every day, in every meeting, you need to be going over that mission statement. It needs to start with that mission statement. Your company needs to drive by that mission statement. Everything you're doing needs to be pushing that mission statement. If someone approaches you and say, hey, can You can you come and speak at this event? Okay, yes, I can come and speak at this event. Um, how what audience is this getting me in front of? This is getting me in front of people who are entrepreneurs already. They have they're already 1099 somewhere else, or do I have a recruiting opportunity? Is this an opportunity to get small business owners team insured? Is this an opportunity for me to write policies on site? If it's not driving the economic objectives to get you closer to accomplishing these three objectives by January 2024, if it's not, we're going to table it, or it's a no. You can table it or it's a no. That's all it is. And once you learn to do that, and once you are communicating that with your team and everyone around you knows what you're driving towards, they have the decision. They can make the decision to either get on the boat or get off the boat, help you drive towards the mission, help you accomplish the goal, or not. Give you an example. Um, I couldn't make it to the gym one day, so I decided to go and walk around the neighborhood. And I'm walking and I'm looking down and I'm starting to get tired. I'm to the point. I'm at 2 miles already. I'm starting to get a little tired at this point. But I'm walking and I put my head down and I'm looking at the sidewalk and I'm just looking at the markers, the breaks in the sidewalk and stuff. And I noticed I was just looking down the whole time. Like I was looking down, not the whole time, but a lot. And then I looked up because at this point I was getting tired. But I looked up and I said, as long as I can make it to that pole, I can make it. I made it to that pole. Okay, if I can make it to the next pole, then I got this. I made it to the next pole. If I can make it down to the end of this block, I can finish out this 3rd mile. My eyes were open to the target. So when my eyes became open to the target, it became more realistic to accomplish. And not enough of us leaders are doing that for our team. They think that they're just showing up to get numbers for you, or um, to make a check for their family and all this kind of stuff. No one is going to drive your mission as hard as you are. And you have to understand that. But when you give people a clear target and they have clear expectations of what you want and what your standards are, you'll see them go to the end of the moon. Okay? So I hope this was impactful. I hope that you're able to take those 3 things that I've taught on how to create a mission statement, how the decision-making process, identifying the different leadership styles. And I hope that you can take that and apply it in some kind of way and you get some kind of value out of that. And I thank you for being on this training. You can follow me on social media, Ricketa Starks. The spelling is on this video somewhere. It's RICKEYTASTARKS. And let's stay in contact. Go and be great. Lead the growth way. Don't only look at what you're getting out of it, but what you can give. And you get what the ultimate thing you can give is seeing someone else grow and accomplish their goals. Because if you help them accomplish their goals, they will help you accomplish yours. You will naturally get yours. All right. Y'all have a good one. I hope this was impactful. I know it was because I got something out of it myself. All right, y'all. Bye.